it's not as easy as this person's popping or I think this person's dope, so I just want to sign you. And Atlantic's like, okay, sign whatever you want. I like to court you. I like to spend time with you. I like to understand what your mindset is, your outlook on things is. Like, do you really even want this? Like, or are you just taking advantage of the fact that you had a viral moment? That's not the type of person I want to go in business with. For me, I want to know that you understand this is an opportunity that I'm affording you to change your life.
The One More Time podcast is officially done with music. It's over. This
done?
run is over. We're full send TV and film, and I am beyond thrilled to be welcoming in today's guest. It's Raven Simone.
Holy
on the
shit.
pod.
That's so Raven.
Live. Let's go.
It's the future I can see.
And we got the intro. Look.
Oh shit! I've never been filmed on the intro. No, all jokes aside, we don't have Raven Simone.
Jokes aside.
Yeah, we couldn't get Raven.
Couldn't get Raven.
No, but we had to settle, back to music. God damn it. We got the senior director of A&R at Atlantic Records. We got Sammye Scott in
Sammye Scott.
building.
Hey guys.
Let's go.
Thanks for coming, Sammye.
Yeah, we were. I want to make sure we get this on record, Henry. We have been trying to get Sammye Scott on the podcast.
Yes.
Before
the glow
the
up.
big platinum shit with Cali. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to make sure.
We're not clout chasing.
I mean,
a little bit.
We are, but like, I just want to make sure y'all know we wanted to get her before area codes went fucking, platinum. But
we knew you were the real deal.
Yeah, we did.
And I appreciate it.
And before the Billboard Women in Music honoree status. Okay, that's like fresh off the press. So congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, it's got to feel great to be recognized by an industry leading, platform like Billboard. What do you think if you, maybe they told you, or maybe you've just done some introspective thinking, like why do you think that they, selected you for the, honoree status this year?
I would think I've done some introspective thinking.
Okay. So they didn't tell you. They weren't like, Sammye, here's why we picked you.
Not at all.
Okay.
But I mean, I would assume or speculate that, I have been working hard for like a very long time, and I've been at Atlantic Records for 6.5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, for a very long time, and laying it like brick by brick by brick. I think it was a great foundation. And it's served as a major like platform for me to grow and develop as an executive. Like it's kind of like when I worked for Boo, like I have no choice but to learn everything, which is like, that's my personality. That's the type of executive I am. I'm always on the ground running. What's the next level I can hit? I want to learn all facets of the music industry. So whenever I sit at a table, whenever I'm faced with trials or whatever the case might be, I know how to face them because I've had experience in, each component of the music industry.
You're never blindsided.
Yeah. For the most, no. And I'm a solution-based person. So it's kind of like, my goal is to figure it out.
Yeah.
No matter what it takes, get shit done. So back to your question, I would say, signed Kaliii 2.5, almost 3 years ago.
Okay, so you did sign her.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I know you've obviously inherited acts probably over the years.
For sure.
Yep.
For
and
sure.
that's way different than
Signing. Yeah.
Courting, signing, inking the deal, and then hit the ground running to, platinum records and shit, Henry. I mean, come on. What are you doing over there, bro? God damn. Bro, we got Sammye Scott on the podcast. The fuck?
Well, yeah.
Wake up.
Myself and Success actually signed Kaliii. And, we went in, we signed her off Do a Bitch. And that had success for her. And then I just feel like each year.
How'd you find her, even?
So, interesting enough, I found her from Young Jock.
Young J-O-C.
Whoa. Yes, Young Jock.
Atlanta's finest.
It's
going down.
Atlanta's finest.
It's going down.
One time for Jock. No, dead ass. Bow. So I've known Jock since I was in college, since I was like 19.
So is everyone in Atlanta, but we didn't get to ink a deal through him. Fuck.
Right? It's, very crazy. But yeah, I've known him for a very long time. And he had told me like a year prior about Kaliii. Like, I have this girl, she's fire, she's gorgeous, she plays soccer, and she's a dope rapper. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he was just telling me about her, but it was a little early. And then, I think like a year later, he had told me about her again, and we were setting up a meeting, and it just so happened simultaneously her song "Do a Bitch" had started taking off. And then also ATL Jacob, shout out to Jacob.
ATL Jacob, who agreed to come on the podcast via Ashley and then hasn't.
And via me in person, but also not really.
That's okay.
It's fine. We'll get him.
Maybe Sammye Scott can hook it up.
I'll get him in check. No worries.
Go. Yo.
And so that's little bro.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you got to meet my girl, Cali. He calls her Kaliii, but he's like, she's super dope, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, all right, cool. One day we're at the car wash on 14th Street. And
I love where this is going. Continue.
And I run into him and he's like, oh my gosh, like, this is my girl. This is who I wanted you to meet. And so that's how I actually met her for the first time in person.
At the car wash.
At the car wash on 14th Street.
Oh my! Did you know she was a star? Right when you saw her?
I'm not. Yeah, she stood out.
Really?
She did. This is when she
At
had
the car
red
wash,
locks
bro?
at the car wash. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's how I met her. Like I said, Jock had been telling me about her for a long time.
What's his relationship to her?
Who?
To Jock to Cali?
Jock. She signed through his company.
Oh, really?
Him and his business partner, CJ. Yeah.
Jock's still out here
Businessman,
wheeling
bro.
and
Yeah.
dealing,
Don't
bro.
sleep on Jock.
Don't sleep on
Don't sleep on
Jock.
Jock.
Who's sleep on Jock?
I mean, maybe some people are.
Yeah.
Not me.
Gotta remind
And they
y'all.
need to wake the fuck up.
Exactly.
Because he's
Wake
out
the
here
fuck up.
inking deals with platinum fucking superstars.
Yeah.
No, I do owe that to Jock for sure, and Jacob.
That's
who
fire.
actually introduced me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire.
Damn. Okay. So anyways, God, hey, I was just talking about the Billboard shit. Yeah.
I know, this is what it's
Okay.
called.
So wait, so
That's
I don't
great
even know if
story.
you. Yeah. So like they saw you clearly sign Cali.
Correct. And then, like I said, Do a Bitch was the first record we signed her off of. And then we met with her in the studio and she was playing us records and she played us Mm-mm. And I'm like, yo, this is it. Success in Our Relationship is a fucking no-brainer. Like, this is the next record. And then we released Mm-mm. And obviously she had her level of success with that. And that went gold. And then...
So when you said it was too early, I just want our audience to kind of understand. Yeah, this is coming from Atlantic.
Not too, but it was a little early.
No, sure.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to like put, I don't mean to make it a bigger deal than it is, but I think it's important for our audience to know because there are a lot of aspiring artists and producers, like I was
Correct.
saying. So like if they're at a certain point in their career and when you say it's maybe a little early, what is, what do you really mean by that?
So, I mean, I feel like you have to keep working. It also depends on the A&R and where the A&R is in their career.
Sure.
And what they're trying to sign, what they're looking for. For me, I already have artists that I was working and building and artist developing from the ground up.
Yeah.
So, for me, it was like, it's like absolutely nothing going on at the time. She didn't even have Do a Bitch out. So I was like, let's, work her a little bit, put some records out, be consistent. Like, let's build up something for her. And then that gives me like leverage when I go in the building to be like, hey, this girl's dope. She's been consistently putting out music. She's building momentum. She's hot in Atlanta. This is where we are with that.
And so you're doing that because she could take I'm assuming you were doing some sort of like involvement with her pre-signing.
Not really.
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest.
All right.
Not
So you were
really.
giving her the space and time to
through Jock. Yeah, through Jock.
Okay. So
Jock,
you're kind of like Jock. Keep
Yeah,
pushing.
no, Jock literally brought it back up to me a year later.
Okay.
Wow.
And he's like, Sammye,
Yeah.
look what we've been doing.
And the
Yeah.
time was right. Then.
Yeah. And then I felt like the time was right. And like I said, simultaneously, she happened to have Do a Bitch moving.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do, right? When you talk about going back inside the building, that speak for like, I got to go meet with people at Atlantic to, basically like plead my case for why we should be investing in an artist like Cali for our roster.
Correct.
Like, what does that actually look like? Can you give us like an insider look into what those conversations are like? What are you having to prepare? What are you having to bring to the discussion, right? Like just so everyone knows, like when you're, getting an A&R to take a chance on you, like this is what they have to go through when they're
And
pitching it.
Exactly. And a lot of artists or teams don't understand that. It's not as easy as this person's popping or I think this person's dope, so I just want to sign you. And Atlantic's like, okay, sign whatever you want.
Sure,
Free for
Sammye.
all. Like, no, it's definitely not like that. I think it's more so of, one, I have to believe in it. Like, I'm not a clout chasing A&R. And I don't mean that in a negative way or anything like that, but I'm not like, oh, this is going viral. This is going viral. Let me just sign everything that's going viral. Like, that's just not the person I am because I believe in like the longevity of the relationship. Virality essentially is a moment.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we build that into something else? So I like to court you. I like to spend time with you. I like to understand what your mindset is, your outlook on things is. Like, do you really even want this? Like, or are you just taking advantage of the fact that you had a viral moment? And it's like, why not get $1 million if I can get $1 million? Like, for me, that's not the type of person I want to go in business with. For me, I want to know that you understand this is an opportunity that I'm affording you to change your life.
Yeah.
How important is data in those type of discussions? How much do the numbers matter?
Well, it depends.
Oh, she got so uncomfortable with that question. Oh my God,
so
bro.
I'm so curious.
I've never seen someone tighten up. You're just like, we were flowing and shit. And she's like, skirt. Saying, what? She's like,
They don't
data.
not matter.
No,
That's like, it's like you just said Lord Voldemort to Harry or some shit. You know what I mean? Data's like
Data
not
must
a word.
not be named.
No.
A&R research. How much do the research people play into this?
Oh my gosh.
No, but seriously,
Okay, in all serious.
like
That was hilarious.
it's real.
Okay, so no, data definitely plays an essential part of looking into an artist to a certain degree. It just depends how you utilize that. For me, I look at it as a tool, just like I look at TikTok as a tool or Instagram as a tool. Okay, cool. This is what you're telling me. This is the space that they're in. That's great knowledge to know going into something I'm looking after. So it's like, hey, it's here now, but it's not looking promising for the next following weeks. So I know, like, maybe this is just a moment and let me take a deeper dive into what this really is. But like I said, as my type of A&R, that's what I do anyway, which is like, I like to court. Sometimes that's not the situation. Sometimes I don't have the time to court you as long as I would want to, because now it's a competitive deal and it's about closing the deal. But I'm more so, I want to spend time with you in the studio. I want to see how you work. I want to see, like, do you like creatives in the room? Do you like to produce yourself? Do you like people just to send you folders? I want to sit with you at a restaurant. I want to go out to the club with you. I just need to know how you move. What's your outlook? What's your mentality with going in to creating? What's your work ethic like? Yeah. Because I'm not outworking you. I bust my ass every single day, and that's my job, to bust my ass inside the building for you. So I need to know you're going to match my energy.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, because I even did a very brief stint as a manager, and that was my biggest challenge, was like, I felt sometimes like I was wanting this more than my artists.
And I had to learn that the hard way. You can't want it more than them.
Yeah, I really quickly learned that. And I was like, you know what? I think I just like this podcasting thing, that I can just work as hard as I want to work. And if we succeed, it's thanks to, like, you know, of course, we're business partners. Don't look at me like that, bro.
Like what?
You're like, oh yeah, you do all the work. No, I'm not saying that. Okay.
I was literally just looking at you because you're talking.
Okay. Well, Jesus, yeah, man. No, I just feel like it's definitely something where, you know, I wanted to be more in control of my own destiny, because, like, even as an A&R, you're basically bound by the success of
the artist,
the talent.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's stressful, you know?
It's very stressful. And I make sure I make that clear with any artist that I'm meeting with off back. I'm setting the precedent for you all to understand, this is what this looks like, and this is the type of A&R I am, and I'm going to fight for you and fight with you no matter what. But sometimes it's going to be you and I on the same team and us against the label, and sometimes it's going to be you, your team, myself against the label, and sometimes it's going to be the label, myself, and you. Like, and when I say against, I mean we're not going to always see eye to eye. Everything is not going to be glitter and gold. So it's like, that's why I need to understand, and obviously I'm not going to know them off, like, front to back to front, just off of a few meetings and spending time with them. But I can more so understand, because you're going to reveal who you are.
Yeah. You can see real quick.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. If you really want this, or you just doing this for the hell of it. I don't have time for just the hell of it. I'm trying to change the world. I'm trying to change the music industry, brick by brick by brick.
Let's go. There you go. He's awake now. He's awake.
You awake? She's like, don't try to play me.
Come on.
So are there some A&Rs, though, that are okay with that, like, viral model?
For sure.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you have different types of A&Rs. You have some A&Rs that are like in the studio A&Rs, and they spend that's me. I'm in the studio.
You're a studio rat.
I'm a studio rat. Not as, so before I used to be in there like 24 hours a day.
Oh, Jesus.
Now I've gotten to a space where it's like, I go there early enough to, you know, do what I need to do and get my work done before anyone gets inside the studio, because being that it's a studio, my office is in there too, but it feels more like a studio than my office. So
Yeah.
I like to just have my own space, and then my sessions start at 1:00. Or sometimes they start at 8:00 and 1 to 8, 8 to 3. I'm in the studio and then I'm out. I'm not in there literally 24 hours a day. But I am the type.
That's still a long time.
No, it is.
It's a big part of the gig.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. But I'm a hands-on A&R, so I like to be present. I like to set the precedent for the session. Especially if the creatives have never worked together. I need to make sure the synergy's there. And that's why it's super important also of understanding who you're putting in the room with your artist. Or even if your artist isn't in there, understanding what creatives you're putting in their room and understanding the personalities, understanding if this person knows how to play the forefront and the back end, and that they're going to be conducive and match this person's synergy who has an alpha synergy. Like, all those components matter.
Yeah.
So my niche is being with the artist. Like I said, I'm not signing every single artist that comes about, but the artists that I do sign, I've had success with.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with.
So how does it work when you're like setting the stage for a session, right? Like, just, you set up a session, I'm a writer, Henry's a producer, right? Maybe the artist is there, maybe they're not. It doesn't really matter, right? But just, we come, you're there. You said you like to kind of kick things off and like set the stage for that session. What are you actually doing?
So,
Or like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Like, how does that go?
and it does depend if the artist is in the studio.
Okay, so let's say if the artist is there.
Yeah, because for artists being in the session, you have to understand the artist and their personality and how they work. Like, some of my artists are more so vocal and they just go with the flow. And then I have other artists that are very like protective of their energy, and they go off other people's energy. So depending how the creatives come in is going to set their mood of how they create and how the session's going to go. So it's important, like, time is money, essentially. And granted, you're not going to come out with a hit every single time. I don't look at my studio sessions like that. I want to make the best records possible, and I'm not here to force anything. But I need to know the writer that's coming in, the producer that's coming in, what energy they're on, and that they understand this particular artist goes off energy. So make sure y'all, like, you're not in a corner, not talking to anyone or on your phone the whole entire time, because they're going to take it like you're not interested in working with them.
So do you say that before they show up?
Yeah, you prep.
Absolutely.
You prep them a
Yeah, I
little
prep
bit.
Yeah.
everyone. I prep
Okay.
them on the phone. I send briefs, and I prep them when they get in the room.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
everyone has a very full understanding what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I let the artist know, hey, this is this type of writer, and this is this type of producer.
Yeah.
And this is what they're great at, and this is their vibe and their energy.
How do you deal with, like, because we've heard, tons of stories about, artists like having different relationships with their A&Rs, right? Like, how do you successfully insert yourself into the creative like landscape? You know what I mean? Because there's some artists, like you said, who maybe aren't as receptive to trying to work with a new writer or a new producer or whatever, right? So how do you handle that part?
I think it's like a massaging situation.
Okay, yeah.
Little at a time.
Yeah, it's a little at a time. Like, I've had artists that had never worked with writers before, and it's a trial and error. Like, I'm like, hey, this person's dope. They're not here. It's once again me setting the precedent. They're not here to take over your studio session. They're not here to write the full record for you. They're here to be a backbone for you. They're here to brainstorm with, to bounce ideas off of. Maybe they come up with melodies that maybe that's not your strong suit. So that's what they're here. Maybe they're here for the wordplay. Maybe that's not your strong suit. Whatever that may look like with the creatives that's in the room, that's what I try to make clear to everyone. So everyone feels like they're in a common space. Because energy is very integral in your studio sessions. That's all it's based off of, is energy.
100%.
So if the energy's thrown off, then I already know. I can tell a few minutes into the session, about an hour into the session, how the session's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are people?
It takes a lot. Like, this isn't something I learned overnight. Like, back when I was in college, and I was an assistant for a management company. That was my first time understanding, being in the studio and understanding studio sessions, and being able to see different creatives and how they work, and when people come in the studio and how that works and all those things. So this is years of time just learning and observing.
How do you deal with, I can't remember who we talked about this with, but basically, like, if a studio session is going on, and they're making a record, right? They're in the process of making a song, and you're just like thinking in your head, like, this ain't it. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, they're just making something that, who did we talk about this? Where like, basically this guy's opinion, I can't remember who it was we were interviewing, but their opinion was basically like, sometimes you got to let them work it out. Right? Because sometimes there's like gold on the other end of this trash that you're hearing, right?
Correct.
So if you're hearing the trash, how long do you let it go? Or like,
that's a real question.
I'm just being honest.
No, that's a real question, because sometimes I give them space, because that's real. Sometimes there is gold at the end of it. So I'll leave for a little while and then I'll come back in. Because sometimes as an A&R, when you're in the session the entire time, they feel like pressure, like they have to come up with the perfect things, and it's like, I don't want you to feel that pressure, because if you feel that pressure, you're not gonna make the best version of whatever record we're trying to make.
It's almost like their boss is in the room.
My teacher's watching me take the exam.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
you're
tough.
standing over me like this. Like, that's not gonna work. That's not really conducive. So, I'll give them some time, and then when we get to a certain space, if they're still stuck on it, I'm like, let's move on to a different idea.
Yeah.
Let's just move on to something new. And then if we come up with some different ideas and want to come back, cool. But spending too much time when you're going back and forth and you and the other creatives aren't on the same page, at that point.
I have a classic line. I'll just say, like, let's maybe like let's like let this one breathe. Let's save it.
Let this one breathe is a cool one.
Let it breathe.
I like
the
that
most
one.
condescending.
And then I'll say
thing
like,
to say.
no, I'll
Let
say
this
like,
breathe.
No, I just
Listen.
know what he's getting at.
I'm not done. Look, and then you say, look, like, okay, let's listen to it in an hour and see how we feel about it. And then,
And you don't listen to it in an hour?
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do, and you're like, oh, this was kind of good. And then sometimes you listen to it in an hour and you're like, let's try something new, and you move on. So.
But so like, do you have the, and this is such a weird word, but do you have the authority to basically say like, hey guys, like, let's move on?
Absolutely.
Okay, but does the artist, but like, what if the artist wants to keep working on it or something? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I meant by, I didn't mean like authority, meaning, I don't know. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean?
I feel you. I mean,
because I'd kind of be like, if I'm the producer and I'm feeling it, I'd be like, who the fuck? Like, let me.
I'm paying for the studio.
Okay, so there we go.
That's the authority.
There we go.
Financial authority.
But I'm kind of hearing this like,
Time is
excuse me,
That's right.
Excuse me, I was vibing. Like,
No,
you
but
know,
You guys can finish this song somewhere else.
I wasn't saying it.
not on my watch, bitch.
No, but dead ass. Like, sometimes I do, like, I don't want it to seem like I'm like a militant person when it comes to things like that, because
You
sometimes
kind of.
I mean, hey, I don't play about.
She don't play.
You ex-military?
No, I'm psychology.
Which
with
branch?
this pre-law.
Which branch were you in? The
music industry.
Marines?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. But yeah, you don't want to come across.
Yeah, I don't want to, because like, once again, it's an energy thing. So my energy matters. Like, once again, I'm setting the precedent in the room. So it's not like, yo, what the fuck? Cut this shit off. It's not
That's
like
what
that.
I'm saying.
No. It's not like that. Like
Rough.
I said, sometimes I let them get it out, and sometimes I'm like, yo, let's just try something new. I don't want y'all to spend too much time on this if we're not coming to a common space on that.
Okay.
I'm good with people though.
Okay,
That's my
but-
thing.
okay, but-
I'm really good with people.
Psychology.
I know. And I thought I was good with people until I got in a bunch of studio sessions, and I was like, I don't think I know how to navigate these waters, because I will just blurt out like, this ain't it. Like,
But sometimes you have to say that too. On
But
the
the,
flip
but the,
side
but the
of it.
rapper, the rapper will have like 2.5 bars out, and Ben will be like, "What's this song even about?"
See,
What's this about?
because you got to let them get it out.
Yeah, that's
You
what
gotta
I always
get
say.
it out.
I've
Yeah, you
gotten
gotta let
better
them get it out.
I've gotten better about that, but sometimes there will be a whole verse and a hook, and there's nothing there, and you know that.
But sometimes
you know
as the
that's true.
A&R, you have to restructure. You have to take this piece and take that piece, and let's switch it. And what the verse is, we should really chop that up and make that the hook.
And you're producing at that point.
And that's
Correct.
why, like, I'm gonna be honest, we've toyed around with, I mean, shit, we just have this big network now of like executives and artists and producers, and like, I've toyed with, I don't think I'm the most like music making creative out there, but at the same time, like, I do trust my like judgment on music sometimes. Like, I'm a huge fan. I talk to people that are at the highest level operating. So like, I'd love to try and like make sure an artist actually trusts me, so that it's this common ground of like, I deserve to be opinionated. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the issue, right? If you're just like in a session, it maybe it's my imposter syndrome, but it is like, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
And like, you clearly have earned it.
You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I need someone to maybe like trust the fact that, like, let's work on this together.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. And you're very correct. I think trust is one of the most important things. Like, the creatives have to trust you. The artists have to trust you. If you're in and out, you're not really present, they don't respect your opinion with their music, then they're not going to trust you in the studio.
Yeah.
I've built that respect with my artists and with the creatives I work with. And obviously it's not with every single creative because I don't know every single creative prior to them coming into the room that I'm putting them in.
Yeah.
But I'm really big on building relationships and understanding who I'm working with.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another situation that I want to get your take on. All right. So that's kind of like the in studio, like while the song's being made. All right. Now I want to talk about like, all right, songs are made.
Okay.
Okay. And now it comes down to like, what are we releasing?
Okay.
Okay. So artist brings you a handful of records. How do you deliver the, like, that song's not it, right? This one is, or like we need to redo that song. Like there's gold in there, but we need to get back in the studio and work on it some more. Like, you know, try something new, like maybe take this part and, you know, all the things you were kind of, alluding to. How do those conversations go?
They're not easy.
That's the hard part.
Because these artists and creatives are sensitive about their shit.
Exactly.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
That's exactly what I was saying.
It's so true. And that's
It's
even
hard.
the harder part.
It is. And I always want to be respectful because once again, I'm not a writer or a producer or an artist. I'm not in there performing. So as much as I am a creative in my own space, it takes a lot to do what they do every single day in the room and on stage and selling a product and things of that nature. So I am careful in my approach, but I also would be doing a disservice if I wasn't be completely honest with them.
My favorite way to kind of word it that I found works pretty well is to say something along the lines of like, do you think this song could be better? Do you think you can do that hook better? And just kind of like challenging them almost at that point.
How do you say it?
Not this sucks, but like, do you think...
You definitely can't say it.
No.
Some people do say that. Yes. I don't take that approach.
Good.
But I'm very...
So there are some tough love, like A&Rs of just like, that shit sucks. Like,
that shit ain't it.
That shit ain't
they
it.
said just like that.
That shit ain't it, bro.
Yeah, and for me,
I think that's me.
That might be you.
That's why you're not an A&R.
I'm going to be.
Oh my God.
One day.
All right.
You'll
For
see.
me, it's more so... that's how it started off.
I think that's worse. Sammye, that's worse.
That kind of hurt me.
That one, like, I just like wanted to throw up hearing that as an artist. Like,
Like, yeah, this is my lead single right here. What you think? Lead single?
do you want the good news or the bad news first?
Bad news or the worst news?
No, but...
Because that ain't it.
Yeah, because that shit. Yeah, all she goes is, that shit ain't it.
The double up? No.
She just adds the before.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no. Okay, so you start with the
No, but...
Where do you go from there? How do we go?
But they know what that means when I say
So
that.
they just,
That's it.
they're
They know,
just like, all right.
no. It's like, I just feel... They're like, Sammye, what?
Yeah.
Callie and I were just going through this today.
Oh.
Yeah.
About the title of her project. And I'm just like...
Oh, what are the options?
Can we weigh in?
Come on, what are the options?
Nah, I'm not saying the options.
We'll bleep it out.
We were so close.
I know.
You were close, but I'm not saying...
She looked like she was about to give us.
Off camera, you tell us after.
I'll tell y'all off camera.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll tell y'all off camera. But I was just like, and she's like, Sammye, I made up my mind. I'm like, I'm still not sold on it. She's like, I'm gonna sell you on it. You'll understand once we get the cover art and this and that. Like
she's
really,
like,
she's selling. Yeah,
She's going to bat
Push
for
it until
this.
it's too late to change
Dude,
it.
she's
I'm
gonna
like,
go to
I
the
don't know
grave for
yet.
this title, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know yet, but literally, I'm very, like I said, honest. Like we have a great relationship, so it's more so like even today when we were at a meeting, I'm like, I feel like you should change this line. She's like, you always think I should change a line. I'm like, I wouldn't be doing my job as an A&R if I didn't let you know.
It's true.
And so then what? Is she gonna change the line?
She might not change the line, but I let you
she
know my
might.
thoughts on it.
But she might.
She might not. I mean, it's your shit. You got to perform it. And I don't say, like, I say that in the most positive way. Like, if she believes in it and she wants to stand on that, I can only respect that.
Yeah.
But I did give, my insight and opinion on it.
Yeah. So, okay, I think there's a lot of misconceptions and like even in my own mind, right? About, especially when it comes to dealing with like a major label system, like the one that Atlantic Records is part of, right? How much control does the label have in what gets to be put out? You know what I mean? Because I think everyone out there,
Great question.
Yeah, everyone out there, especially the uninformed people, and even the like slightly informed people like us, are trying to are trying to figure it out. Of like, everyone talks a big game about like, oh, my label wouldn't let me release this, right? And so how much?
First of all, you got to take those type of conversations with a grain of salt, because it's always a two-part fold to things. You know, it's always more than that specific sentence of my label won't let me release music. I can't. Obviously, I don't know everyone's story, but I mean, that's the first thing artists.
I think some people just say that for content, and it's not even true at all.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's a good biting line. Yo, your label won't let you. NBA YoungBoy, perfect at it.
Yeah.
Fuck the label. They won't let me release it. I'm like. Now you know.
Yeah. But so, you know, like hypothetically, where is the line being drawn? Right? Like if you or you know, your boss or whoever else is involved in like Kalii's project, let's say she brings you the project.
Yeah.
And you know, like where is the line drawn of like, no, like this is what I'm really, and I don't know. Of course, it's maybe like artist by artist specific based on their deal or whatever. But how far can it go?
I mean, it does get a little tricky sometimes.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You have an artist who is very adamant and they feel strong about their body of work, or whether it's a single, and I could feel strong about it as well. Or maybe I don't feel strong about it, and I have to go into the building and sell it. Like,
who do you have to sell it to?
I have to sell it to my higher ups.
Yeah. So still within like the A&R kind of.
Yeah, A&R.
And then like even shit up to the
chairman.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah, for sure. Well, you know, more than anything, and this is what I appreciate about Atlantic, is it's a record driven label. So
what does that mean?
Meaning they're big on records, like creating records. Like they're not just like, oh, come up with some shit and just throw it out there. Like, no, we are a record driven company. We make real records. So
still really caring about what songs get put out, what albums get put out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And
maybe everyone
flexing that power a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. Did you just don't do that, bro?
I'm just saying, if they care about the records and they think that these two records on your album aren't it.
Okay, but so let's go back to, all right, so then like let's say you do have to sell this, but like I guess my question still, and you know, however you can answer it, is like, at what point is it like we're not putting that out? How can that go?
It can go one or two. I'm coming back to you and your team, and I'm like, hey, the label feels like this is beatable. They feel like this isn't strong enough yet, or they feel like they love the body of work, but we're missing like 2 or 3 records. Sometimes I can be in agreement. Sometimes I may not be in agreement.
Yeah.
It's just really about finding a happy medium. But the label can be very adamant about, hey, we want this to be like, they're not wrong about what they're saying or the reason why. Like, you just want the best possible product and body of work.
Yeah, it's all subjective.
They're putting up the money to put it out too. So
and it's subjective anyways. So like, just because the artist thinks that it's exactly perfect the way it is and the label doesn't, or vice versa, if the label likes us,
everyone can be wrong.
Exactly. Y'all both are sometimes going to be wrong, and it's just going to flop. So it doesn't matter, right? Y'all could both be in agreement, and it still doesn't work. So it's all opinions.
Correct.
But yeah, like it is a very like viable situation where you do go back to the artist and be like, we need to keep working.
Yeah.
And then it's just that.
No, it's not as simple as that. No, because they might be like, no, I feel like my body of work's done.
Yeah.
And then like, what happens? Is that like a stalemate?
No, let's call a meeting for everyone to sit in the same room and have this conversation.
Yeah. Because you're just you're somewhat of the middleman.
I'm the liaison. Yeah. So essentially, like
the middle woman.
Yeah. The middle.
Sorry,
woman.
I mean,
how dare you assume pronouns?
I know.
Spellman woman.
Middle person.
Spellman
woman.
Middle person.
I'm the liaison between the artist, their team in the building, and all the departments in the building, and the artists and their team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, you know, my job when you're not hot or you have nothing going on or we're in recording mode for the next 6 months or a year, my job is to keep the building still engaged in what you have going on. Hey, this is what we're working on right now. Here's some music to hold you all over. Here's a sampler we want you to sit with. We're not done, but this is where we are as of now. So we'll start providing like a vision and direction of where we're going.
What's the label's expectation as far as consistency, right? Like how often should the artist be dropping? I
think it varies from artist to artist. I don't think you can put that across the board for every single artist.
Okay.
Some like a Bruno Mars obviously is not going to drop the same amount as an up and coming artist.
Okay. So let's talk maybe about the up and coming artists. Cause I would say once again, majority of our audience is probably like aspiring artists. Some of them are at the level where maybe they could be, you know, some of the lower artists on a major roster anyways. Right. What's the typical consistency, like typical output look like, you know, from an up and coming?
I mean, and once again, I think it still varies because I've had artists, like someone who's close to like an NBA YoungBoy. Like obviously, he's built his cult following off of dropping like maybe once a month, twice a month.
Yeah.
It just varies. And then someone like Kaliii or like another emerging artist, it might be like every 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Let's go way lower.
Oh, we're going way lower
Like
than these. Okay.
first deal minimum amount.
I think you should be dropping as much as you can, to be honest. And especially like when you're looking at new artists to sign them, if they built momentum off of being consistent like that, you got to continue that when they get in the building, because that's how they built where they are. So I'd say once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least a single, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And it might not even be a standard single, but you're dropping consistent
Something.
product. Yeah, it's over 100,000 songs being uploaded every day. So it's you competing, regardless if you're signed or not signed.
Yeah.
It's you competing with everyone.
Yeah, that's huge right there. It's like, why, you know, I could listen to you or I could listen to Drake.
Correct.
Why should I listen to you?
Yeah.
So you got the full-time gig at Atlantic after doing the like consultancy, right?
Yes.
And so you were working on A Boogie's project Hoodie Season back then. And then I think, you know, the story I heard you tell in another interview was basically like, all right, after my work on that, I basically got the full-time like gig. Is that?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. So what do you think?
I don't know if that's why they hired me. This is me speculating.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was going to say, what do you think you did on that project that warranted maybe, you know, the full-time offer coming in?
For me, if you're asking me, I feel like I showed devotion, dedication, consistency. I was adding to the project with creatives.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his biggest project out to date.
Yeah.
So
A banger.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and I didn't A&R the full album,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah.
be clear.
No, for sure.
But I did work on a lot of records.
How does the
for the
co-A&R, how does the co-A&R situation work?
It varies.
That seems weird.
Does it?
Is that hard? Or is it harder in my head?
Sometimes when you're not on the same page as the other A&R, then maybe it can be.
Yeah.
I just think there's so many types of A&Rs now that it's easy if you have one person that does this and one that does this. It's easier for them to fill in.
Correct, because
Right?
everyone's, like I said, there's different types of A&Rs. You have some A&Rs that are relationship A&Rs. You have some A&Rs that are lifestyle A&Rs. You have some A&Rs that, like I said, are in the studio 24 hours. Some A&Rs aren't ever in the studio. Like, it just varies.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does everyone think an A&R does that they just don't do? Right? Like, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean by that?
Like the most common.
I don't know what he means by
okay,
that.
the most common misconception about what an A&R does.
Sorry, I'm listening. Sorry.
What's the most common misconception about an A&R?
Do you still have questions about that? Or you understand?
I kind of get what he's saying. Yeah. So I just feel like A&R used to be more like obvious back in the day, and now it's a little.
Yeah, just
It's different now, right?
Okay.
yeah, just like
What do y'all do?
I gotta read this in my headphones. Hold on.
no, it's more.
I got you scratching your eyes.
I mean, it might be that it's springtime and maybe the pollen's coming in. I don't know, you know, or I don't know. Maybe that's what I do when I'm uncomfortable at this point. I don't know. But no, okay. Well, I guess I have two ways to ask this question. One of which was not supposed to be offensive. Okay. One of which I'm gonna just be offensive is like there's a lot of shit talking about A&Rs.
There is.
There's a lot of shit talking about A&Rs.
There is.
We've had multiple A&Rs on here that have been like, there will be no A&R slander on this podcast, and that's fine. Why do you think A&Rs do get a bad rap sometimes?
I think it's a multitude of things. I think it's one, that particular artist might not have had a great relationship with their A&R and they could never get on the same page. And the artist was used to doing what they wanted to do, however they wanted to do it, and not used to structure, which is what a label's going to come with. I think it's that. And I also think some people just want to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Shouldn't have signed to a major.
Right.
Like,
Good luck, independent.
Especially if someone who's like a new emerging artist who's never had success, like I would think you would want to like take heed and listen to someone who has had success in this and knows what they're doing. But some people just They want to do it however they want to do it. And it becomes a fighting battle, an uphill battle, you know, with the A&R. And some people are like, I'm not dealing with that shit. So then it causes a rift in the relationship, and maybe they stop showing up to studio sessions. Then you get the narrative of, well, my A&R is never around. It's like, but you don't ever listen to your A&R.
Yeah, so why would I invest my time and energy?
They're going to start investing elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like it's such a two-way street from what I'm hearing, right? It's like you need the artist just as much as the artist needs you, because like you said, you're the liaison to the building who's going to get their project, you know, the maximum like value that it can, right? Like across the different functions.
It's important. You know how many artists are signed to a label?
How many are signed to Atlantic?
I don't know at this time.
No, on average.
I can't speak on
thousands.
We've done a lot of restructuring.
Yeah, there's been a lot of restructuring going on.
Don't
in the,
do that.
Can I take us there?
Why you want to take us there?
I just need to take us there. Just real quick.
What's
UMG
up?
fired 40% of their staff.
UMG fired 40% of their staff.
That was some
I
of my
knew that
friends.
was coming.
I know.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. We're not laughing at that. It was a
not.
funny segue, but we didn't.
I'm laughing at the segue.
I know. I'm telling her that.
Okay.
I know what you're laughing
We're
at.
not
And I
laughing
was-
at your friends, Sammy.
No, I know.
Clearly,
I know.
We empathize with the
Yes.
people that were impacted by the layoffs that UMG did. Do we think that that's going to be a trend across Warner and other?
We had layoffs as well.
Really? They just weren't as publicized, or what?
They were publicized.
They were? Okay, shit. I feel like everything I saw was just UMG, but
Probably not as massive as 40%.
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And so just, from someone who's, I guess, what is the label's rationale, right? Like I'm assuming you got some PR, or comms email about the layoffs, right? Like what's the rationale for the restructuring and like downsizing that the labels are saying? No comment?
No comment.
Okay, fine. I tried, Henry.
I know.
I tried.
That's interesting.
Okay, but can we talk about this then?
Well, clearly they think they'll be more profitable with a smaller staff. I mean, I think it's as simple as that, really, right?
Maybe.
What kind of conspiracies are you bringing?
No, I mean, just there's obviously like certain departments that I think were most impacted. For example, I don't know if it was the same at Warner. Mm-hmm. Okay, it was the same?
Oh, I was just
You
saying
just said,
I heard you.
Acknowledging.
I heard you.
All right, God damn it. I'll move on. I'll go back to fun shit, not awkward shit. All right, so area codes went platinum in under a year.
10 months.
10 months. That's awesome. So congratulations to Cali and to you and the team, because give it up for you
And
guys.
to all the white boys on the roster.
Yeah. Are we on the roster?
They're probably not.
You're not.
Not her. Right?
You're definitely not on the roster.
You're definitely not either. Then.
Unless you like big boys.
Mean.
I got you.
I'm likable.
You are. What do you think was so special about that record? Like if you were to sum it up. Or is special about that record. Sorry, it's still alive and well.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
But I think it was different for her. Like it was very simple. It was
Simplistic.
very open.
Yeah.
It was genreless. I mean, as much as it was a rap record, it was definitely an urban record, but it felt like it applied to all. Mm-hmm. Anyone could sing "Got a White Boy on My Roster, He Be Feeding Me Pasta and Lobster." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Such a bar.
Yeah, like, and it really took off. I knew it was going to take off when I started seeing like all the sports teams. Like
Dancing to it, yeah.
It was hockey players, baseball players, basketball players, doctors' offices, like everyone was creating videos. I'm like, it's for everyone. So once you hit that level, then I feel like it's a rocket.
So none of that like response to the record was curated?
No.
Okay, so
no. So
yeah, like, how does that work?
Cali, first of all, props to Cali because Cali popped off the record herself initially.
Shout out to Cali.
Shout out to Cali.
Let's go.
I need y'all to say shout out to Cali.
Shout out to Cali with 3 eyes.
With 3 eyes.
Don't forget the fucking second 2 eyes, people.
Don't you dare.
It's not just one eye, okay? It's Kaliii.
Cali.
Yeah. Okay.
So
she popped that shit off.
She popped it off. Yeah. She posted it on Instagram. She teased it on Instagram. Then she teased it on Twitter. And then she teased it on TikTok, and then she teased it again, and it just continued to grow. And then I was like, yo, we got to put this fucking record out. Like, it's showing us that they want it. The world wants it. Let's put it out. So
That is a gem in itself, by the way. Just being able, the power of social media, being able to tease songs and see what gets a response, you know.
And that's what I was saying about the different platforms. I feel like it's for what you utilize it for. Mm-hmm. And Kaliii has taken a great approach and utilized TikTok to her advantage.
So you don't need to stay on her ass about posting and shit, or do you?
Yes, sometimes we do.
Okay,
sure.
Yes,
sure.
Sometimes we do. But she like kicking it off. That was like, that's all her.
Wow.
Yeah, like she did that. Then we released the record, and it just started picking up, and Atlantic started working the record.
Yeah. So like when you guys start seeing the response, then what?
Is there fuel to the fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had. That's what the label's there
Yeah.
for, essentially. To add
Exactly.
fuel
So
to the fire.
specifically with this record, right? You start seeing teams making videos, whoever, right? How do you actually respond, right? Like, what were some of the moves that were actually made to add the fuel to the fire to that record specifically?
So I come up with this idea of doing regional remixes.
Okay.
Ooh.
So regional remixes to tie into area codes.
You see what she did there?
Yeah.
Big brain.
Sammye Scott, bro.
I know. She's good. She's good.
So at the time, it was like, how do we spread this wide?
Yeah.
And so it was like, let's come up with some remixes and find up and coming artists that we know will work the record, and it will be just as much as, you know, a plus for them as it is for Kaliii.
Yeah.
And it's a look. So we did Little Tyler.
Yeah, Florida.
Mm-hmm. We did Lil Kayla from the Bay. We did Sexy Red, and this was early Sexy Red. People
Early
probably don't even know
Sexy?
she's on there. Yeah.
Early Sexy.
Yeah, this was Early
Did an
Sexy.
Area Codes remix?
Yeah, she
from,
did.
From Memphis. Where's she from?
She's from St. Louis.
She's from Missouri. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we did Kenzo B for New York.
Okay.
And
Such a dope idea.
It did exactly what the fuck we wanted it to do.
Beautiful.
It wasn't even just about the streams. It was more so like, let's connect with the up and coming artists and let's build it for visibility.
Oh yeah. I mean, because up and coming artists that have motion in their cities,
Correct. And
the
all of them
cities
have
are
motion in
riding
their
for
ci-
them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So if they're on this remix of an artist that they maybe hadn't heard of yet, right? Like, you know, maybe they hadn't heard of Kaliii,
Yep.
then it's like, oh shit.
You're just commingling audiences at that
Yeah.
point.
That's genius.
It's a good one.
Oh shit.
Is there any like influencer, micro influencer like buying? Are you buying like posts from people? Is there any of that going on?
I don't think it's about buying posts from people, but
Pulling favors or
yeah, I mean, you know, hey, Kaliii, send this out to your celebrity friends.
right? No, for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if like
sure.
enough artists do that of just like
Right.
calling in the favors.
You
I mean,
know, a lot of artists don't like to do it because they feel like they're asking for something
That's
and they
so
don't want to feel
whack.
like they're begging for something. But you know, I think it's just like artist to artist, they understand more so than
Yeah.
me calling your manager and
Yeah.
asking your manager to ask your client.
it's the lamest way to do it.
Yeah.
Because the artists have been in those shoes before, and
Exactly.
they know what it takes. And also, you need to be the type of person that's open to doing other people favors. If you just are in your own bubble and you're not doing favors for anyone else, and you come out the gate asking for shit, then it's not the same as if it is that two-way street. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that's what I feel like the regional remixes were. It was a two-way street.
Yeah, helped everybody involved. That's so cool. What a good idea.
Oh man, that's amazing. So you know, the ladies in rap are just absolutely like crushing it right now, right? Like they're just having their way with this shit right
Let's
now.
give it up
Like,
for
yeah,
the
let's give it up for the
female
ladies, bro,
rappers.
because they're killing it. How do you feel? Like, do you feel like that's a blessing or a curse for like an artist like Kaliii, right? Where it's like, yes, the ladies are having motion, so like clearly the, you know, consumers are receptive to like, you know, female rap right now. But how do you stand out amongst the competition, right? Because
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy at all because like you have a pool of women in the same space. So you, like obviously you have your top artists like Cardi and Nicki, and then you have like your Megans
And Lottos and-
Lottos, exactly. And then you have another space where it's just like a lot of female rappers.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you break through? How do you cut through to that next level? And I think it's about standing out, like not replicating what you see the next person doing.
What do you think Kalii's superpowers are?
I think, you know what? Captivating people. Like when she walks in a room, she's really, really great with people and engaging and just being herself. I think she's really funny. And I tell her all the time, you don't talk enough. You need to talk more because you're funny as fuck. And if people just got to see that side of you, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'd love it. So, but she's really great in rooms with people for sure.
Yeah. No, she definitely gave me the, like, you know, fun loving and like kind of, you know, lighthearted, positive, funny vibes. Like but I agree. I was doing some research just on Cali, obviously in preparation for this. And I don't feel like she does that enough either.
Yeah.
Of just like the giving us more of her personality.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's
funny
gonna,
as fuck.
yeah, and that's gonna
She's
make
such
her
a good time.
Yeah, that's gonna make her win. I feel. I mean, she's winning clearly, but like just that's really what's gonna
take it to the next
take it
level.
even up a notch. I feel like is giving us that like glimpse into her as a human. You know what I mean? Because like the music is dope, obviously, and she's got that star power like from
She's
the
such a
image
star.
side. But
consumers want to know their artists now. It's not just about the music. It's about being a fan of the person, of the band, of whoever. You know, we love binging that side and getting to know people through the power of social media.
for sure. So what is y'all's relationship like? Is it like big sis, little sis? Is it like friends? Is it like co-work? You know what I mean? Is it like
Callie and I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's little sis.
Little sis.
That's little sis. I mean, artist, so she knows when I mean business for sure.
Okay.
We're not playing here, Callie, but we have a genuine relationship. So, you know, even outside of the music, take away all that. Like, I love her to death and I would do anything for her.
Yeah.
So
How many artists do you like work with on the A&R side?
3.
Okay, 3. Who are the other ones?
I work with Rico Nasty.
Oh,
Shout out
Yes,
Rico.
shout out
Rico
to
Nasty.
Love Rico.
Yeah.
wow. She's on Schoolboy's new project, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Pop or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that record's hard. And Rico's just such a character.
She's fire.
Yeah.
She is. Like, her shows are fucking nuts.
She has no problem standing out.
Oh my god.
No, talk about
no problem
yeah.
at all.
She doesn't fit in that
She
other.
really set the precedent in that lane, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, she's fire. And then the other one, I'd rather not mention.
Oh wow.
Is it a newer relationship? Or?
Is it a
Yeah,
sour?
It's a new. No.
Oh,
No. I have all positive relationships
Oh,
with all
okay.
people I work with.
you can't mention? Is it that cool? Fuck, Sammy.
We'll find out about it when they have a platinum record in a year, man.
Sheesh. Oh my gosh.
All right, that'll be another off camera.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, shit, I could ask you like 1,000 more questions. You got anything else? If not, we can move into the final segment of the podcast.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Damn.
Hell
Especially
yeah.
because she didn't, she didn't want to touch on some of the.
Layoffs.
I mean, it's not like I just want to talk about layoffs, but
I
like,
know.
there's a couple. I mean, I was going to talk about the TikTok thing, the UMG like TikTok thing.
Oh, yeah.
You want to like speak a piece on that?
Yeah, any quick opinion on that? Like,
Just, for those that aren't familiar, UMG ripped all their artists' music down from TikTok. So I don't know if you agree, disagree, understand where they were coming from at all, or
I don't agree.
okay.
But I also understand it's a business.
Yeah.
And if they can't come to a common ground on a business acumen of theirs, then they had to separate.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it resulted in a domino effect for everyone affiliated with UMG,
Yeah.
which I don't think is fair. But then at the end of the day, we're in a business. So
Do the contracts cover anything like this?
I'm that's above my pay grade.
Because
That's above my pay grade.
Because I was thinking through, I was like, damn, is there anywhere in the contract that just says like we can prevent your music from being on whatever social media platform that we want?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I think
It's so new.
that's TikTok's retaliation to them. Like, oh, you don't want to meet us where what we're saying, then we're ripping down all your like. That's just
Please tell us Warner's music isn't.
not no.
Okay, thank God.
No.
We can't lose any more major labels
please.
off that app. It's gonna be.
Although independents would love it. They'd be like, yes, our music's the only music left.
I know.
No, I mean it really does suck. It's really not fair.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it really does.
It hurts the artists.
It does. It's detrimental because
So
it's
much.
like this is the same platform that you're telling everyone to get on and utilize to help break your music.
Yeah. It's Music Discovery 2024.
It
Hello.
really is. So it, without saying too much, it just sucks that it's not fair.
Sure.
Fair enough. Well, Henry,
There you have it.
we've entered the final segment of the podcast.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Sammye, this is the rapid fire rampage.
Oh, I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be. Yep.
We got a seatbelt on that couch if you want to.
It was all fun and games until now.
It's a 3-part rampage.
Okay.
We're going to start with just some short answer questions.
Okay.
Some nice little lobs, you know, just to get you warmed up, and then it'll get more intense from there.
Okay.
Here we go. Starting with, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
Oh, thank God.
Sammye, give us your top 3 tips for artists trying to get noticed by labels. What can they do?
I would say don't overthink releasing music. I would say be consistent. And I would say put out content, because short form content is what's grabbing people right now. That's what's winning.
Period.
She said it.
We say it sometimes, but now Sammye Scott said it.
Sammye Scott said it, guys.
So if you don't believe us,
Fucking.
Now I'm going to add a 4th one. No excuses.
Ooh. Because excuses are like assholes.
Everyone has one. And excuses are for tools of the incompetent.
ooh,
Oh, that's
a next level one.
Wait, I've never heard that in my life. That was a bar.
Tools of the incompetent.
I mean, it's like
Sounds like an album,
Sounds like a punk rock band.
right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's too many excuses out there.
There. Okay, moving on.
have enough money.
Exactly. That was what I was thinking in my head. But I was like, I'm not even going to go there.
The money is the fucking most annoying excuse I've ever heard.
You can shoot things on
need
your
it eventually,
iPhone.
but yes.
Oh my
Kanye.
God.
Yes.
Kanye paid all that money for a Super Bowl commercial to shoot it on his fucking iPhone.
It's incredible.
Insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I love that.
iPhone.
Yeah.
There's no excuses.
Oh my God. We just had Kalii's manager, Courtney Stewart on.
Oh, Courtney. I love Courtney.
We just had Court or Coat Love.
Coat Love.
Coat Love was his
Rap name.
Was his rap name. So we just had Coat Love on here, and he's getting just flamed by just, once again, complainers and excuse givers in the comments about like, did this guy just say to shoot videos with your iPhone? Like, what a fucking
Oh, he
bozo.
just said the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And these people have 50 monthly listeners and have 4 posts on their page.
Or your page is private. Or like,
That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
That makes
no,
no
but he
sense.
basically went on to say about like, creating a bunch of different versions for your song, like acoustic and sped up, slow down, all that, like,
Imperative.
yep, that stuff. Then he said like, shoot a music video to every single song. He's like, I don't care if you got to get your homeboy to shoot it with your iPhone, whatever, just
people
create
are
content.
lazy. I don't care what anyone says. You're lazy.
Yes.
There's resources. Like, even when it's like, oh, well, no one knows me. I only have 10 followers. You have family members. You have friends. Make all of them post it. That's a start.
Yeah. Because if you can't get them,
Then how do you expect
the random
Anybody.
strangers
Yeah,
to support you? It's
absolutely.
like, yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
Sammye, what is the best and worst thing about the music industry?
the best thing? Can I make it personal? Or
Sure.
like the best thing is, I would say I get to do what I love every day.
Yeah.
That's
Can't
a
beat
big,
that.
that's a big one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
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 The worst thing I would say is the politics of it at times.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially in the major label system, probably comes with that extra layer.
Here you go, take a shot.
Bruh.
He actually likes labels.
I like labels. I do. I'm like
Surprisingly.
your biggest fucking advocates around here.
Yeah. He gets in trouble with independent artists.
Yeah, the
loving
independents
labels too
love to
much.
say fuck the labels.
They do, but
I've worked in corporate America, so
Yeah.
it's the same
I was
idea
gonna
around
say,
politics.
it
It's
is.
not,
I was gonna say the same thing.
Doesn't mean you're pumping out bad music or you're bad for the industry. It's just more like you having to get shit done. There's just a lot more red tape. It's just
Exactly.
bureaucratic. Like it just is what it is. When you're a Fortune whatever company,
there's more red
there's
tape.
just shit you got to go through.
And I
you
was gonna
know?
say it's just like Fortune 500 company. Same thing you got to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
Nah, I wasn't meant to like.
No,
I
I was just-
like
I
you
was just
guys.
fucking with
I'll
you.
mute, I'll
guys.
mute his mic if you'd like me to.
Ah.
Actually, it's very easy. It's one button. He talks too much sometimes, especially during my segment. So, moving on. You're banned for one question. Sammye, I am an artist with serious motion. I'm making waves, and you love my music. Pitch me.
You're serious.
You want to
artist,
A&R me. You have to A&R me. I'm the shit. You've never seen anyone like me. I make the
Okay.
greatest music. This is where you're muted, by the way. And I'm consistently posting content, dropping music, and you just have to work with me. Pitch me.
Pitch you like I'm selling myself to you.
Yes. Why should you be
I'm muted. Oh, you unmuted me?
Why should you be my A&R?
Why should he sign with you? He's the hottest shit out the city right now.
That's hard to. That's so speculative because I don't know what your music sounds like.
Just
This is
Just look at him.
hypothetical.
it's the greatest thing you've ever
This is
heard.
hypothetical. So I feel like I'm very personable, and I like to get to know my artists, which is why I like to court my artists. I want to spend time with you in the studio.
I don't have time for that.
Oh well.
I got to sign something with someone. I'm hot right now. Why should I sign with you guys? What's Atlantic have to offer?
This is the worst negotiation I've ever heard.
Literally.
Are you just done with
You
it?
gotta get this right.
Are you done? Are you done?
Is that your pitch?
This is definitely not my pitch because I would have shut the shit down and closed the deal.
What would you have said? You would have closed it as in like closed the door and
Close
said,
the deal. Close the deal. I would have closed. I'm a deal closer.
"Oh, you would have already closed it.
Yeah, I
what
would have
happened?
closed it.
You'd already done signed him.
Yeah.
Oh, you're signed. You don't even know it just happened.
Fuck yeah.
You're the newest addition to Atlantic Records.
Let's go. I think this is binding.
Okay.
Now. It's a verbal
All right,
contract.
album on the way.
But
Let's
no,
go.
in all seriousness, like Atlantic is amazing at artist development, I will say, and they really stick with artists. Like they're very big on, like I said, the record making side of things, touring, touching your fans, understanding who your niche, who your fan base is. College people, let's touch every single college everywhere and take over. Touring, collaborating, you with other artists that are signed to the label, putting you on tour with other people that are signed to the label. They're really,
Okay.
really great at connecting the dots. I will say that for sure.
Now I'm interested. Yeah.
You're already signed, bro.
Oh, true.
Exactly.
I forgot about that.
You already signed the
No,
dotted
but
line.
they
This is
are,
just like,
like-
by the way, this is what you're getting.
They're like Honey Baby, she's a new R&B artist signed to Atlantic. They put her on Sexy Red's tour. They have her on Flyana Boss's tour. Cali was on A Boogie's tour. Cali was on Sexy Red's tour. Cali, she went on the Jingle Ball tour. Like, they're just really amazing at connecting those dots, which I think are imperative as an up-and-coming artist. And even as an established artist, you might be like, hey, I want to do a record with this person. And it's like, let's get to that space. Okay, hey, now I feel like I'm ready. They'll make the call.
Dope.
And that's real. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen it happen.
That's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
That's what I expect from my new major representation.
Well,
So
congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yep. You
get
get
some
$0 of an advance, and you don't own any of your masters, and
I don't need it. I just
all
need,
your publishing's gone.
I need
but
the
like,
networking.
You
That's all
know.
I need. I need to be put in rooms, Ben. I
Yeah.
have potential.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on. If you're comfortable sharing, what are the last 3 DM or no, actually, let's say text messages because I think that's what you're doing right now. What are the last 3 text messages that you sent?
The last 3 that I sent.
Can you tell us about them?
Yeah.
We're interested in the life of Sammye Scott.
Okay. DMs or text messages?
What's juicier, Ben?
Let's go with her texts.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like real, you know.
Whatever you're doing right now.
Oh, so I'm late for a meeting right now.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap this up.
So I told them I was wrapping up the podcast and I was on my way.
You are.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true.
Okay. And then the last text I
What
sent-
meeting? I mean, we're trying to get to the life of Sammye
I know I
Scott.
can't answer that. It's G14 classified.
Is this the artist? Is this the?
Is this the secret
No,
third
it's-
artist?
No, it's
Is this the secret fourth artist?
No,
There's
absolutely.
a 4th.
Is this
Ooh, I
a
haven't
guy?
responded. Oh my
Is this a
gosh.
guy you're interested in?
No, it's not.
You don't have time for dating.
I'm not opposed to dating, but you just got to come correct.
Oh shit!
It's fair.
Don't be no clown.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 more.
Yeah. One was, hey, Cali just texted you.
Thanks for the heads up. I love that you got a text about a text.
Life of it, you know?
Dang, I got to respond to a lot of people right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Someone was congratulating me on the Billboard
Oh,
nominee thing. Yeah.
Dope.
So that's on my last.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I thought they were congratulating you on being a guest on the One More Time podcast, but that'll
Congratulations
be when
for that too.
that'll be when this, comes,
comes
out.
out.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh shit, congrats. The Billboard thing was cool and all,
Facts.
but
Okay, Next two parts, we're going to fly through them real quick. That was part one.
Let's get her out. Let's get her out of here.
To this meeting.
To this date.
Had a date.
She's got a hot date.
You're
Let's
courting.
go.
You're getting courted.
That's right.
Am I getting courted? That's
don't
such
know.
an old people's term.
I know. I love it. You've
But
used it like five times.
I said I did, but it's so weird because I would never speak about like my dating life like a man's courting me. But when I speak about artists, I'm like, I'm courting the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more applicable.
Sounds like you're signing like a medieval act or
Yeah.
some shit.
The Knights of the Round Table.
Oh my
hottest
god.
band.
I hath courted
All right. This is the this or that
the
section.
Duke
Ben,
of...
you're muted again. This is the this or that section. I'm going to give you two choices. You just have to pick one.
Okay.
Very simple. Let's get through it. Starting with hip hop or R&B.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, that's the point.
This is not rapid.
You're not on.
Yeah.
Ooh. Damn. Hip hop.
Great beat or great lyrics.
Both.
We'll accept it because you're short on time. Beach house or mountain cabin.
Mountain cabin.
Rich or happy.
Happy.
Discover new artists or binge your favorites.
That's a hard one. I love discovering new talent. I really do, but I will play the fuck out of a song, like to the point where it's goddamn annoying.
So we're going with binge your favorites.
We're gonna go with both.
And finally, become a full-time singer, songwriter, or leave the music industry.
Wow. Become a full-time songwriter. Because I'm not leaving the music industry anytime soon.
Part two. Fine.
Wow.
Just be careful with that.
Wow.
Your privileges could be revoked.
She such a cop out, bro. Both.
I know.
How are you gonna let her?
Both, because we're short on time. It's fine. You know.
Well, she could quickly say the one.
You're a hater.
I'm just
You're a
saying.
hater.
I'm just fucking saying Sammye Scott. Just because she's Sammye Scott doesn't mean she gets to do both.
Well, we'll see how this last section goes. This is the word association. Sammye, I'm going to say one word. You just say one word. The first word that you think of.
Oh,
right back at me.
Lord.
This is where we really find out about Sammye Scott.
This is where we cancel you.
This is where it goes down. Here we go. Starting with hip hop.
Wait, what?
Wait. She's so confused, Henry. Give her the instructions again. Come on.
What's the first word you think of when I say hip hop?
Tupac.
She gets it.
Oh,
See?
well.
Atlanta. Shut up.
We'll see.
Atlanta.
Culture.
Champagne.
We popping bottles.
Hell yeah. Children.
Oh, I want kids one day.
Oh. Well, you better get to that date.
You can have mine some days if you need them.
I'll babysit.
Okay. You just signed up for it.
Hawaii.
Tropical. That's not tropical.
I mean, I guess it's not. Because is it like
I guess not.
Like
Is it?
it's not in the tropics,
Tropic,
like
but-
equator wise. I don't.
That's
I
what
mean,
I was
is it
thinking
though?
about.
It sounded,
Geographically.
it sounded like kind of right.
I don't know. It might actually be. How dumb are
Oh.
we?
Let us know in the comments. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Don't judge me. I was in
Yeah.
psychology with a track and field law major.
This is first response anyway. You're not supposed to think about it. So, handcuff,
Fuck no.
pretzel,
Pretzel. Mustard.
hell yeah, walrus,
The sea.
hot tub,
Bubbles.
junk,
Food.
flower,
Bomb.
area.
Cold!
Let's go. This has been your favorite senior director of A&R Atlantic Records. This has been Sammye Scott on the One More Time podcast. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Apple Podcasts, follow us on Spotify Podcasts. If you fuck with this interview, we are here each and every week.
Every week.
And until next week, Henry, what are we doing?
Getting out of here.
We are getting the fuck out of here. Sammye
Let's
Scott
go.
interview.
Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time. Pop that shit like one more time. They pop that one more time.